Hello everyone and welcome to the glorious review web series that is TheBoobTube. My name is Magnetrex and boy am I excited today. And that is because as of last month it is officially our 1 year anniversary. And yes, I am fully aware that I should have done something special last month, but to be honest with you, when you have a really psychotic killer trying to kill you, you kind of get sidetracked. Oh, and word to the wise, if you ever try to hide out somewhere, don't do it at a family barbecue, because otherwise the mosquitoes and the gnats will just bite the crap out of your face when you least expect it. Hence the way I look right now. But without further delay, let's get into our new semi-annual tradition with Red vs. Blue Season 3. Picking up right after where Season 2 ended, the Blood Gulch boys of Red and Blue team begin to work together in order to stop a psychotic AI from, you guessed it, trying to take over the universe.
Of course!
All the while taking on new threats, challenging obstacles, and confronting inanimate objects along the way. And if you watchers out there would like a quick recap on my previous RVB reviews, here you go. While I sit here on your computer screen for the next 37 minutes and 21 seconds. Or play this 5-second intermission. Now, without further delay, let's get on with... Oh, sorry, hold on 1 second. Hello?
Your names, it's me.
Damn it, Locke, now's not really a good time.
But I think I have found who you are looking for.
Look, man, I just started my show. Call me later, homie. Alright? Bye. This is Season 3 of Red vs. Blue. So Season 3 opens up with Donut as he talks to Tucker laying on the ground as he is continuing to recover from the RPG blast he received from O'Malley last season. As for everyone else, Tex and Sheila are still on Blood Gulch, Simmons is lost in a place full of teleporters.
I appear to be stuck in some kind of nexus of teleporters, which can take me anywhere in the universe. Or it's a janitor's closet. Hell, I don't fucking know.
Okay.
Sarge and Caboose find themselves on Battle Creek with a bunch of respawning Red and Blue grunts, and as for Church and Griff, they have been imprisoned by the Red team on Sidewinder. Meanwhile, somewhere else in the galaxy, we get another soldier who doesn't quite seem to know how to patrol a base properly.
What was that? Nothing. It's that stupid sucky wind. Breaking a twig, coming up behind me and breathing real heavy.
Like, almost as if someone was getting the drop on me.
What the? Hello, mate.
Yeah, thought so. So this is Wyoming, another freelancer from the same experimental program as Tex, who receives a phone call from someone who wants to hire him for another job. Back at Battle Creek, Caboose unleashes his inner rage, what little he has that is, and begins an all-out massacre on both teams.
My name is Michael J. Caboose, and I hate babies.
What the fuck?
This gives Sarge and Caboose enough time for Simmons to reprogram the teleporter at the last minute in order to retrieve both of them. Meanwhile, O'Malley finishes remodifying Lopez in order to obey his every command and use him to rule the universe. But in order to do that, he must first take out the Red and Blue teams, especially Tucker, who knows that both Red and Blue are the same. Back in Blood Gulch, Tex informs Tucker that she just got word that Wyoming is the one who is hired to kill him. Tucker thinks that Wyoming is a pretty dumb codename until Tex tells him that all freelancers were codenamed after a state.
So there's 50 of you. 49. Remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Man, poor Florida.
Rest in peace, Florida. I'm gonna miss your sweet, tasty oranges. Back at the teleportation center, Sarge manages to contact Donut and inform him of the Blue plot and that Tucker's idea that Red and Blue are the same is nothing more but hogwash. Hogwash, I tell ya! While Caboose unwittingly presses a button that activates the bomb in Church's robotic body. Outside of their cells, some hot gunplay action goes on as all of the Reds are wiped out on Sidewinder by Wyoming as he plans to lure Tucker into a trap by leaving Church and Griff right where they are. After a little bit more tweaking with the teleporters, the rest of the red and blue teams meet up on Sidewinder as they all make their next plan.
Ow, crap! Here, let me help you clean your armor off by rubbing you all over. Ooh, let me help!
What the hell?
Bottom side.
Apparently being covered by all that black stuff provided the perfect distraction for Wyoming, as he cannot find Tucker and Tex getting the drop on that limey cracker. That is, until O'Malley gets the drop on her 2 seconds later. Double ambush. Oh yeah, and Church and Griff manage to get out of their cells after they are opened by a future plot point. Don't worry, I'll get into that in a little bit. Which leads into the big showdown as O'Malley activates Lopez's secret weapon, which is a weather control device, and in order for it to work, O'Malley stalls the red and blues by wreaking havoc with his rocket launcher. However, Simmons appears to have one more trick up his sleeve as he uses a teleporter to bring in the grunts from Battle Creek, convincing all of the noobs to attack O'Malley. During the fray, a stray lightning bolt hits Church, fusing the detonator, making it impossible for him to disable the bomb. Which leads to Plan B, with Tucker saying fuck it and using O'Malley's rocket launcher before Church explodes. But Wyoming just so happens to snipe the rocket launcher right out of Tucker's hand.
Sorry, Private Tucker, but I always get my man. Say goodbye.
So you would rather kill someone rather than letting him disable the bomb? Well, I guess it doesn't really matter now because...
0 seconds.
Uh-oh. What? Oh, son of a...
After some stock footage from Halo 1 and a quick Photoshop animation, everyone wakes up realizing that the bomb sent everyone
in the not too distant future.
Well, everyone realizes this but Tucker, as he doesn't seem to grasp the concept. So Donut puts on a display to explain the sequence of events to Tucker. After Tucker deduces that if everyone were blasted into the future, then that would mean Church was blasted into the past. Which it does, as Church now wanders the wastelands in all of its mid-90s glory. However, it would appear that they weren't the only ones to survive into the future, as O'Malley and a disembodied head of Lopez wash up onto the shore. As the Reds and Blues find themselves a broken down Jeep to repair, O'Malley, Doc, and Lopez set up shop in a rundown fortress, setting up a couple of badass looking turrets and meet up with the surviving Red Zealot as he believes that the fortress is a holy temple. O'Malley takes this opportunity to exploit the soldier into working for him as one more minion to his cause.
Come on in. We'll think of something.
Smooth, O'Malley. Real smooth. This catches the attention of Tex as she does some spying and later radios the rest of the team, informing them of O'Malley's location. After meeting up on the beach, Tex devises a plan to infiltrate O'Malley's base in order to plant a bomb on a giant X, blowing up the entire fortress.
If you got past the 2 walls, the huge spinning blade, the gun turrets, and made it all the way into the fortress, why didn't you just plant the bomb then instead of putting an X on the floor? I can't carry it. What?
Who am it? Am I right? Apparently the bomb has an immense amount of weight that only Caboose can pick it up. Meanwhile, the Red Grunt informs O'Malley that there is a crowd of people gathering on the beach, which tells him that the Reds and Blues are about to begin their strike. After discarding 2 of Sarge's suicidal plans, the Blood Gulch group invades O'Malley's fortress and are quickly pinned down by the minigun turrets manned by the Red Zealot and Lopez's head. This gives Tex the opportunity that she needs to take one of them down.
Ah, headshot!
Well, so much for using that clip.
Hey, asshole! Huh?
Oh, how about this?
Who done fucked up and gave your boy a legit sword right now? Like, for real right now?
Well, it's not exactly perfect, but hey, I gotta work with what I have here. So with the Red Zealot dead and Lopez out of the way, Caboose gets into the fortress to find the X and come across a strange radio transmission from O'Malley's computer.
Need to find an X. Hello? Caboose, is that you? Can you hear me?
Aw, snap, looks like someone...
Would it I can up a power die? Would it I can up a power
Excuse
die?
me one moment.
Where it...
What?
Bitch, are you done with your review yet?
Didn't your mother teach you any manners? Look, I'll call you back when I'm good and ready, okay? Later, man.
That motherfucker. Well, I guess if you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself.
Sorry about that. Now, where was I? So in the past, Church comes across a computer terminal who informs him that he is not supposed to be here for another 1,856 years, because a great destroyer will come to bring great doom upon them all. When the computer describes this destroyer as a blue being who will be known as the stupidest life form in the universe, Church quickly assumes that it must be referring to Caboose. With that said, Church immediately sends a message to the team into the future letting them know what not to do. Like, I don't know, placing a bomb on the X?
Caboose, what did you do with the bomb you were carrying?
Oh, I put it on the X like I was supposed to.
Or not to bring the sword inside the fortress, which locks everything down? Yeah, I know they already did that. But I'm pretty certain with everyone else around listening to the instructions, I'm sure they can follow through on...
There's 3 minutes left for the bomb!
Ah! We're all gonna explode and die! Simmons, come over here. Help me chew on this wall. We can eat our way out.
Figures. So I guess it is up to Church to save the day as he waits patiently to travel back into the future to fix some key events from Blood Gulch, making this 50th episode a very special one. Mostly because it recaps everything that went on in the RVB universe, and everything that future Church does for the next 20 minutes pretty much sets these same exact things in motion. Things like kicking dirt on the switch so the legs get disabled, giving Captain Flowers some aspirin only to die from a heart attack 5 seconds later,
crap. Blah.
directing Donut to the blue base, renaming the tank from Phyllis to Sheila, and disabling the friendly fire, taking the sniper rifle only to drop it off somewhere else so Caboose could find it, trying to kill Donut with the sniper rifle. Seriously though, how did they not see the streams of bullets zipping right past his head? But it pretty much doesn't matter as Church continues to screw things up, like informing Vic that red and blue are the same, convincing Sheila and Lopez to not build a robot army, and they decide to follow through on it and make their own hovering purple thingy in the cave. And last but not least, trying to take out O'Malley with an RPG, but only to hit Tucker instead. Oh, and also releasing his past self and Griff from the prison. I told you I was going to get back to that. So with that said, it would seem that every single new idea that Church has come up with not only doesn't work, but he also creates hundreds of doppelgangers of himself as they bicker amongst one another on how to correct all of this. The latest version of Church has decided that there is only one more thing that he could do.
What are you gonna do? You know what? I'm just gonna go free text and wing it.
That's a great idea.
This Church gives up on trying to correct everything. Instead, he frees Tex and rejoins the Blood Gulch soldiers before the explosion goes off, thus being sent into the future. Why does he do this? Well, as he says it best.
What can I tell you, dipshit? For better or for worse, I'm back.
And so we are back to where we started as Church pops in right in the nick of time, asks Gary to disarm the bomb for him, and tells everyone the crap he went through in order to get here. As the dust settles for everyone at the fortress, Church warns Tucker that the sword might be a little too dangerous for him, and Tex can't seem to take her eyes off of it. Meanwhile, the Reds secretly meet up to discuss a distress signal on the Red Army's channel, which has picked up by their Warthog's radio. The Blues start to become a little suspicious of this, especially after Sarge uses Donut to distract the other team.
And that's the story of how I saved Christmas. I did not even know the North Pole was in San Francisco.
Hey, that story can't be as bad as Grumpy Cat's. The Blues watch from above as Caboose tells his team about the distress signal the Reds heard on the radio. And how does Caboose know about this?
Andy told me.
Of course! Obviously it was Andy. Wait, who? Well, apparently Andy is the little round bomb that was deactivated at the last second, and not only can he talk, but it turns out he is quite the biggest jerk throughout this entire series.
I'm not the jerk, you're the jerk. Jerk.
Did he just hear me?
Shut up, you shizno.
Anywho, as the Blues do their best to soothe Andy's explosive personality, O'Malley and Lopez plan one last final assault on both teams with a slow-moving robot army at their disposal. As soon as their attack begins, the Reds make a break for it, leaving the Blues behind to fend for themselves. Tex uses this opportunity to knock out Tucker in order to steal his sword while everyone else hunkers down inside the base. Back outside, a mysterious figure begins his own attack as he wipes out the entire robot army and takes down a startled O'Malley. As for the Reds, they make their way to the distress signal, which reveals something that is quite familiar about this place.
Crap.
But I just didn't believe you. No! I mean, you gotta sell it.
Back at the fortress, the blue team assumes that Tex did a pretty good job taking down those robots. But when it is revealed that Tex did not kill the robots, Church asks Gary who could have done all of this when the answer is right behind him.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
And that concludes Season 3 of Red vs. Blue. And God, it was so exhausting. This 2-hour and 10-minute season is quite an endurance when it comes to binge watching an entire web series. While it was a nice change of pace for the show to have its characters explore new areas for them to interact in, I felt like they didn't do much with these places for about 70% of the time. Some of these episodes tend to draw itself out for a little too long, making it quite boring at times. Not to mention, a good chunk of their jokes were not as funny as they once were in the other 2 previous seasons. And while this season does give us introductions to the Halo 2 engine and the Marathon trilogy, it still holds its own, for the most part that is, long enough for us to give us new characters for this series and an interesting storyline which all leads up to Season 4, which I will get into sometime in November. But until then, I'm going to give Season 3 a solid 3 out of 5. And if you watchers out there want to watch this series in its entirety, feel free to click this screen right here and it'll direct you straight to the playlist for Season 3. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to make a phone call that is quite long overdue. My name is Magtrex, and I'll see you all next time on the BoobTube.
The fuck? Nothing in here but boxes. Why are they labeled under different categories? Vodka. Scared surprised face.